Sleeping with girls is one of the hardest things the young men want to do, but it's easy when you can break the physical barrier and escalate effortlessly. Today I'm going to tell you the easiest way for you to start getting laid and tell you the number one trick to knowing whether a girl wants you or not. When I just turned 17, I went on a date with a girl and I didn't break the physical barrier despite being with her for 4 hours. And this was after I'd lost my virginity. So I had some skill with girls, but I just wasn't able to take the date to the next step. And it felt more like I was going on a date with, sorry, it felt more like I was going on a walk with a friend than it did a date with a girl. There was no like polarization or romantic tension between us, nothing of that sort. And that's because the thing that most guys struggle with is breaking the physical barrier. I'll explain what I mean by that now. A good example of breaking the physical barrier is holding hands. It's just being able to touch a girl without it being weird, like not even in a sexual way. Literally just like holding hands, for example, or putting your arm around her waist. Just something like that, something as simple as that, would be breaking the physical barrier. And most guys are just stuck on the first, second, however many dates with just talking. And as much as you can talk and get to know someone, and I believe you should do that before you even meet up, before you go on like stupid amount of dates, get to know the person. I do not believe in having sex on the first date, especially if you haven't spoken to them beforehand. But the best way to break the physical barrier is holding hands, and the easiest way to do that, I think, completely my own opinion. No, it's just correct. Best way to do it is going on a hike. Because if you're going on a date with a feminine girl, she will appreciate going on a hike because it gives you time to get to know them. And I know it sounds goofy, bro. I know that going on a hike sounds stupid to you. But honestly, with the girl I'm with now, first thing I did when I met her was, say hello, obviously introduce myself, all that shit. And then we got in my car and we drove to somewhere that was a really pretty place. It was by the ocean. There was a massive hill with like cool cave stuff on the side. And I took her up there and we went on a walk and it was kind of slippery. And the best thing that you can do is do something like that because as soon as she was like started to fall over, I was like, oh, do you want a hand? Do you need a hand? Boom, broke the physical barrier in less than half an hour. Easy. It was so simple. And having a close environment like a car is ideal because you're in that intimate space. Like you're both in each other's personal zones already without having to like push there. It's like what you're gonna make the girl sit in the back seat while you're driving. It's like no. And so that's why it's so easy because you're in each other's bubble already. If you have a car, there's no forcing that. It doesn't feel wrong. I mean, again, when I was 17, but a little bit later on now, I made a joke with a girl that I wanted to sleep with. And I remember saying, you know what? I think my chest is bigger than yours. And then she said, oh, I guess we'll just have to compare. And literally less than a minute later, I was sat there with her tits in my hands. But you gotta make them laugh because it destroys any awkwardness. This is especially on the first date now. Like if it's the first time that you're meeting up with this girl, I'm not saying to grab her tits on the first date because back then I didn't know. I'd picked this girl up. There was a little bit of tension when she first got in the car, and then 5-10 minutes later, I literally had my hands on her tits. And so I was a different person back then. I don't have the values that I have now. I didn't have as much self respect. So I was just, I just wanted sex. And honestly, the easiest tip that I can give you to this, and this is the main part of the video from now on, from this point, is asking the question constantly, is she receptive? That is the most important thing to knowing whether or not you can move forward with your physical progression. And then luckily for you, there's a few questions that you can ask yourself when you're on a date with a girl to answer the question, is she being receptive? I'm just going to quickly fire through these. Does she move closer or further away when you move closer to her? Say, you lean in to hear what she's saying. Does she, move in to help you hear you speak? Or does she lean back a little bit? You move a little bit closer to her to sit next to her. Does she move away? Easy to understand. And does she look happy or uncomfortable when you do move closer? Because some girls, when you move closer, obviously they'll look uncomfortable and move further away. But there's some girls that, you move closer and she looks happy and she moves closer. But this is the bad one. This is when your monkey brain will just be like, oh, girl, horny. And it'll just forget that that girl is a person. And you'll move closer and she'll look uncomfortable. But you won't notice because you're too stupid and because you've misinterpreted it. You've misread the signal. And that's one of the most dangerous things that you can have as a young man is misinterpreting signals. Because it can just lead to such a bad situation. A way to tell if she's really attracted to you, actually, is has she brushed her hair behind her ear? This is the most obvious sign of attraction, especially if you're just sat there talking, if you're just chatting to her. If she just does that exact movement, looks to the side, like laughs, does that. It's so easy, bro. Honestly, if she does that, and it's like not windy, it's not appropriate for the situation, she hasn't been like shaking her head back and forth, she just does it randomly, bro, you've got it in the bag. You've got that easily secured, bro. You are safe to move that physical barrier. You're safe to, offer her your hand when she's getting up or, going around to the other side of the car, letting her out. Because when I was 17, I had a lot of muscle and I was very lean, aesthetic as fuck. I had a car. I was smart. I could drive her around. It's giving girls experiences that she's never had before. That's what girls are looking for on a first date, so that she keeps coming back. Because if you're not drawing her in, if you're not attractive, you're not going to get that first date. And if you give her a boring first date, she won't come for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to sound egotistical as hell, but like, I have a car. I got a lot of muscle. I'm lean. So I'm attractive. I smell good because I actually care about my appearance. I took her to a nice romantic spot. Like, I'm smart. What? Why wouldn't you fuck me? Sorry, but it's just like, how many 17-year-olds did I know that had a car at that point? Zero. None of my friends at the time had cars. I was the only one who had a car because I was quick on it. I'm a quick learner, and I just managed to get my test done. So easy. You just gotta have something that other men don't. It's so easy to stand out as a man. Honestly, the amount of people who would just sit there playing video games while I was spending 60 quid for 2 hours worth of driving lessons. Ridiculous. Now, is she holding eye contact or avoiding it? Very easy one to understand. Does she look into your eyes when you speak? Talking about talking. Is she actually contributing the conversation, like contributing to the conversation, asking you questions, being receptive, or is she giving one-word responses like most girls do in your texts? Now, if you answered yes to any of the negatives in that situation, don't you worry. I'm about to solve all of those now for you, bro. Easy. Literally take me 2 minutes. If she's not moving closer or she looks uncomfortable when you do, you need to back up right now, bro. Honestly, just take a step back, shift back over to your side. I'm about to come a little bit closer, get a little closer to the microphone, above. But you need to back up and give her some space. Seriously. You need to talk more and make her feel more comfortable, and you're not at that stage where you can escalate just yet. Because if she's not feeling comfortable enough for you to move closer, then she definitely doesn't want you to break the physical barrier. Now, I've never been in this situation myself because I'm quite a good talker. So when I'm chatting to a girl, we're laughing. She's laughing, I'm laughing. When she's laughing and having a good time, that's when I slip in and break the physical barrier. That's when I like put my hand on their shoulder. Hey. But you've got to be able to judge the situation, and that's what I'm trying to teach you today. And if she's not holding eye contact or giving you one-word responses, then she's just not interested in what you're saying or doing. It's that simple, bro. Honestly, you've just got to be more interesting. And the easiest way to be more interesting is to do more fun things. Like, what have you done today? I'm probably going to post this about 4 o'clock. What have you done today, or what are you doing this evening that you could tell a girl about that's interesting? Honestly. So I woke up, um, I went to the gym, and then I came home. I watched self improvement YouTube, and what about you? What WYD? What did you do today? Oh, I just sat there watching TikTok. I watched a bit of Netflix and Vampire Diaries. Oh, bro, tell her something ridiculous. Oh, I just went swimming at 3 o'clock in the morning because I was bored. Oh, me and the boys I've just been out with the boys all day. You've just got to be able to actually say something interesting, and if you're not doing interesting things, you don't lie. You tell the truth, and you got to be mysterious when you say what you're doing. If you haven't done anything interesting, then that's when you can be a bit more mysterious. Oh, what were you up to today? Guess. Keep her guessing. Don't always tell her what you're doing. That actually ties into the end of the video. And if you haven't got enough stories, then you're just probably having the opposite effect, and you need to shut up. Honestly, you need to shh. Listen. The amount of guys that I've seen and I've talked to that have shown a girl their camera roll on the first date. Bro, I actually can't take you seriously. If you've shown a girl your camera roll on the first date, then click off, bro. You can't be helped. Honestly, stop showing a girl your camera roll on the first date. Not the second date, not the third date. Stop just showing girls your camera roll. They don't find it interesting. You sitting there going, that's when we did that. Bro, you're an idiot. Girls want to answer questions. They want to feel like you were interesting. The less you say, the more they'll find you interesting because the less they know about you. It's so easy, you know? So simple. Just stop showing girls your camera roll. Bro! Oh my god. Literally, you're telling them everything about yourself. You're sitting there, they're bored for 2 hours while you're looking at your camera roll. You know? Just listen to what they have to say. Because think, if they're talking about, let's say they've got two dogs and they're saying something funny that happened with one of their dogs, you're not even listening because you're thinking about what you want to say next. You're thinking, you're planning ahead for the next step. It doesn't feel natural. You could be talking about her two dogs, and then you find out something deeper about her, something quite interesting. And then you get onto that, and then you talk about, a deeper topic about how young she was when her father passed away, and then you can bond over the fact that something has happened that you both have experienced, because people don't understand that girls love deep psychological talks. They love talking about deeper things, not just, oh, I've got two sisters, and, oh, what were you doing today, WYD? What have you been up to? Oh, that sounds nice, that sounds fun. Bro, honestly, talking to girls and knowing what can say can actually be super difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Because I was there. And luckily for you, I actually literally just made a video on exactly that. And the link is going to be up here on the end screen somewhere. Or by here, I don't know. Go and click subscribe right now, you pussy. Have a hard day and a great week. Mwah! Mwah.